Hey folks, this is Best in Slot. Welcome back to the Dino Tracker website, the brand new viral marketing site for Jurassic World Dominion by the very talented Chaos Theorem crew. Now, in the video yesterday, we did a very general overview. We read a lot of the text, but we definitely missed a few things as well because I was trying to get through quite a lot in a single video. And over the last 12 or 24 hours or so, the internet has torn this website apart and discovered a ton of really cool little hidden secrets, not just here in the text, but stuff hidden deeper in the website, as you'll see. So I'm going to bring all of that together. I think I found everything that we found, and I'm going to show you all of it in today's video, and we'll discuss it, of course. So, thing number one, we're here on the Dino Tracker website, we're here on Tyrannosaurus Rex, and we're going to open this image in a new tab, like so. So we've got our big T-Rex image from the start of Dominion or whatever it is. And you can see here at the top, we've got dinotracker.com/images/dino/T-Rex.jpg. Now, if we replace T-Rex with, let's say, Velociraptor, it loads up the Velociraptor image. That's the one of blue that you see on the website. If we type in, let's say, Suchomimus, no image at all. We get a not found. Requested URL was not found on this server. However, if you instead type in Spinosaurus, you get this image right here. Now, there's nothing here quite yet, but we have a topographical map. We have what looks to be like a game trail sort of thing with maybe some sightings along the way. And the fact that the Spinosaurus has an image here, it's got a website, it's got like a placeholder, is really interesting considering none of the others do. So, you know, there's definitely a suggestion maybe Spinosaurus is going to make a reappearance on the Dino Tracker website. Maybe we're going to find out what happened to the one from Sauna/Camp Cretaceous, depending on your perspective of that. I don't think Spinosaurus is going to appear in Dominion. If it does, it's probably a very short cameo. We'll have to wait and see. But this is interesting. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. It's interesting. One of the major things I missed was the hidden text files, the hidden documents located in the locations. I believe there are 5 of them for us to find. To find these, you need to move out of this view and into the more sort of zoomed in flat view. The way to do that is click on one of these files, then click the X, and you'll be presented with a map just like this. And this lets you see these files here. You can't see them on the general map. You need to zoom in like so. So if we click one of these locations, like Isla Nublar, for example, there we go, and we do this, sugar, you'll see there's a little eye here at the end hidden in the white. You can actually just about, no you can't. There you go. There's a little eye hidden there at the end, a little secret document. And if we click that, it's going to open this. This is the internal document. This was obviously Biozin or someone like that, and these were them discussing hiring or, you know, turning Dennis Nedry against InGen in the scenes of the original Jurassic Park. So we're going to go check this document out. Okay, it's just a really cool little Easter egg, it really is. So, internal document, do not distribute, Mark Dennis Theodore Nedry, interception date 3rd of December 92. That could have been 12th of March 92 as well, probably is 12th of March 92, right? So we're here during the original Jurassic Park, or when they have their initial meeting. Lansing, Michigan, US hometown, obviously works for InGen, International Genetics, and position lead computer programmer. So we can just about read this maybe. From Burned Archive. I thought Dennis was going to take some work. Boy, was I wrong. It didn't take more than a couple of cheap cocktails and some questionable shrimp for him to start dishing the dirt on Hammond and the operation they have going on Nublar. Most importantly, however, is how underpaid he feels for the work InGen has him doing! Exclamation point. That's not very professional. He basically told me everything I wanted to know without me really needing to lift a finger. But down to the serious stuff. This is our perfect cut and run candidate. I bet this sucker would sell his own grandmother for the latest CPU upgrade, and we wouldn't have to worry about any blowback. He was even musing about how he built their entire security system, Nedryland he called it. So this is our golden turkey. Dennis is a smart guy, and I strongly believe he can get access to all the species we require and more. We just need to come up with a viable method for transportation, as he mentioned some heavy security checks at either end of the boat ride. I suggest we test the water with him, make him an offer for some low-level information, see if he complies. This would be a good opportunity to find out exactly where those boats and choppers were coming from the day we monitored the island. So, personnel summary. Underappreciated in his job, willing to work with us. Built the Jurassic Park mainframe, has complete access to all systems, status pending additional. So this was a year later in '93. Initial reports coming from our engineer in Costa Rica is that Dennis went missing during the security breach. Our contact on the crew has also confirmed that he never made the exchange. The location is unknown at this point. I'm not sure what the J would be there. Obviously, this means the canister, the vial, the Barbasol can, the genetic samples or something. But I don't know what that little hook would be all about. But yeah, really, just not new information there per se. It's just a really cool little Easter egg. It's the kind of thing you can see being put together, especially in the early 90s. For the next one, we're going to head over to Isla Sorna, the potentially rebirthed Isla Sorna. There's no confirmation, let's be honest, but potential. As people have mentioned, this image comes courtesy of Biosyn, which is moderately interesting in and of itself. Is it Isla? Oh yeah, there it is. So you can see part of the Las Cinco Muertos archipelago, blah 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 blah. Birthplace of de-extinct wildlife for Jurassic Park. Click! That little suspicious gap there, and we'll open this in a new tab. And there's a lot to go through here. Okay, this document is much too long, and my reading of it and analysis took about 15 minutes, which just is not justifiable in a video. So if you want to read the document, of course you can do so. You can either pause this page at a certain point to read it yourself, but I'm basically just going to sum it up and talk about what I think is the important parts of this. So really what this is a Biosyn document. They're talking about trying to legitimize their corporation in the eyes of the government bodies, and part of that is destroying old important files, and that's really what all of this is about. So we need to clean out the archives, I mean clean them out, delete anything that ties us to Dennis Nedry, the infiltration of the 94 crew, which is interesting. It suggests that Biosyn had fingers in the crew, which is not the way I wanted to phrase that. Fingers in the pie, but they were involved with the crew on Isla Sorna during the Lost World Jurassic Park, you know, Tembo, etc. And Project Regenesis, which is, of course, the stuff from Isla Sorna, kind of between Jurassic Park 3 and The Lost World. Any physical paper trails must be destroyed. You did great in convincing the UHCS that our representative worked for Masrani back in 03. This will be the run-of-the-mill stuff with you. So there's like a running theme of this, that basically a lot of stuff that we've pinned on Masrani or InGen in the past, Biosyn actually was heavily involved in. We'll get back to that in a second. So you can see the three things that need to be destroyed. Embryo Acquirement, that's the 93 Jurassic Park stuff with Dennis Nedry. Project Footprint, which to me seems to be the stuff from Isla Sorna and the Lost World Jurassic Park, and the implication they were involved in that crew in some way. They turned a few people like they turned Dennis Nedry, which is really interesting. And Project Regenesis, which is the amalgam testing and the genetic testing on Isla Sorna, the illegal genetic testing on Isla Sorna in 1999. Now, the interesting thing is, we believed that this was Masrani Global. Actually, I think we initially believed it was InGen, but it wasn't on InGen's list, right? The Spinosaurus, that was the whole thing. And then we believed it was Masrani Global, because that's what the DPG said. The DPG document, which was actually written by the same people for Fallen Kingdom, said that it was Masrani who did it. To me, it never made too much sense, because if you look at the Jurassic World, it doesn't have like the Spinosaurus, it doesn't have the Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptors, blah, 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 blah. So what this document suggests is actually it was Biosyn who was working in Sorna in 1999, doing the illegal testing, and they just kind of pinned it on Masrani in the aftermath. It does reference the amalgam testing again. I still believe that is a reference to the Spinosaurus. I think it is basically really the only real way to interpret that. I think people maybe say it isn't because they don't want it to be. To me, the amalgam is very clearly the Spinosaurus, given they mentioned its increased aggression and stuff like that. The last little bit that I want to talk about here is basically talking about Dr. Wu, and it says, and on that note, he cannot find out we were involved in the 99 research. So Dr. Wu's been working for InGen and Masrani for decades now, as far as he knows, but he doesn't know that he's actually been working for Biosyn for some amount of time, or at least he's been working for people who maybe have been turned a little by Biosyn. And now Biosyn here are talking about catching up to him, finding him. He's been on the run since the events of Lockwood Manor, and they want to recruit him so he can do some work for them, basically. Which is, again, really interesting. The last thing is mention of some a stricken tourist vessel, and they saw some dinosaurs. They were attacked. They were saved by the Coast Guard, by the armed forces, and they've paid people off to not talk about it. What's interesting is I don't remember that happening. This took place in 2017, so it's post Jurassic Park 3, which was the only one I could think of. I don't think it's the right timing for... Oh, it could be. Maybe... No, I don't see how this would be the case for Camp Cretaceous either. It could be, but this is suggesting they paid people off for that, which doesn't make sense either. So it's either referencing something that I'm not picking up on, or it's referencing something we haven't seen yet. I'd be very curious on that, but feel free to read the document for yourself. Just go onto the website, get onto the document the same way I just showed you. That's about it from me talking about it. But this is the most interesting document actually in some ways. Alright, we still actually have 3 more documents to go. I'm probably going to cut down that last one to just the more important bits, but we'll see how it goes. So, 1, 2, 3, here we go. Let's check out Biosyn Genetics. Oh, we just read this one here. Attention, payment request for you from Tailspin. So this was February 2021. Email address, blah, blah, blah. KW Cargo Charters, project flying live cargo to Earth from various neighbouring drop points. Assets delivered. Compsognathus times 12, Gallimimus times 3, Gallimimus juvenile times 1, Nasutoceratops female times 2, Nasutoceratops male times 1, Velociraptor male times 3, Velociraptor female times 1. Hours flown 70 hours per week, air miles 63,400, option 1 cash transfer complete, option 3 Crike coin transaction. We even got a Jurassic Park themed cryptocurrency. They did, is it AMC at the moment? They started flogging their stupid NFTs, so it wouldn't even surprise me. Address, sincerely, So this is, I think, meant to be for the Wanda Wise's character, who I keep forgetting the actual character name of, but she's a cargo pilot. She's done with the job by the end of it. Yeah, she mentioned something like that in the behind the scenes. But I think it's quite clearly, to an extent, she's been delivering some interesting sounding dinosaurs. The point is, I mean, she's delivered velociraptors, right? That's the main thing. But it's not just any velociraptor. It's 3 male velociraptors and 1 female velociraptor. And if you've got a big old brain, or just any brain, or you remember the best film in the world, Jurassic Park 3, you'll remember how many velociraptors there were in Jurassic Park 3. And there was 3 male velociraptors and the female leading the pack. So that's pretty bloody exciting. Now, also, we don't just have the text. We've got a little QR code there at the bottom. So I'm gonna try to snap it on my phone. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, web address, open in browser. Oh, it's just the trailer. It's just the. I'll show you. There you go. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just the trailer for Jurassic World. A little sad, actually. I was quite excited about that idea. I need to turn my phone back off. It auto syncs with these headphones. And it's on, so I have to leave it off. Right, let's go check out the other 2 documents. So, document 2 is just over there. There we go. Yeah, we can read all these. Yeah, we can read all these here. Replacement capture and transportation team. Good morning, blank. We have received the final list of candidates through from He seems to think these will be the best that Biosyn Human Resources can muster to replace our field team and transport crew after the recent incident. I've done that a lot today. The training of the animal technicians really needs to be stepped up. I don't want to lose a fully loaded transport again. List is as follows. Any questions, contact either myself or Howard King if I'm in the field. I've got Ansel. Oh, Kayla Watts, that's her name, right. So this is them recruiting transport people after clearly something went terribly wrong. J. Ansel, P. Arnold, L. Beveridge, J. Dickens, L. Fairhead, Y. Yasagawa, M. Kincaid, J. Ogoson, H. Peak, E. Tembo. Tembo? There's a Tembo again? Tembo, of course, was Roland Tembo in The Lost World. Kayla Watts. The Wanda Wise's character, I remember now that I see the Watts. And D. Woolno. Call to arrange a meeting with I've heard good things about Some military dropout apparently. Now she's flying less than legal cargo. In and out of Mombasa in a beaten up old flying boxcar. Bloody Nora. As long as the price is right, I think we found our pilot. So they're discussing potential pilots for their capture and transportation team. So this would actually seem to be before the other document, but hey ho. Yeah, cool. And let's check out the 3rd, which is over there. Regarding our last meeting, I must once again urge you to work with Congress to declassify the seized documents from Masrani Global. Is that a QR code? I'm going to take ages for my phone to turn back on. So, regarding our last meeting, I must once again urge you to work with Congress to declassify the seized documents from Masrani Global and their subsidiary, InGen. While I understand the sensitivity of this tech going open source, we've already seen a dramatic rise in black markets and we both know other big tech giants already have their hands on it, so who are we protecting here? After the incident up north, I really hoped the people in charge would come to their senses, but now we're waiting on civilians to leak this stuff. Everyone presumed were extinct even on Sauna due to layers of red tape obfuscating any and all intel. It would have been pivotal to know the exact status of these animals before heading into the field. We're dealing with a senseless tragedy every time one of our... Okay, it's not a QR code. I just had to make sure. I didn't think it was. It might be like a Biosyn QR code, you know, like or it's a weird... That's my dad. He just sent me a text saying, do we need to cancel the cinema? It was last night, Dad. We're dealing with senseless tragedy every time one of our operatives is starved of data and things go south. We need to know as much information these genetic companies have on the animals they created, even the so-called outdated projects from the 90s, so we can better understand what we're dealing with. You do understand that some of these animals are even venomous, while others have the equivalent of L'Oreal pits for thermal vision. The fossil record can't tell us those things, and we and the public need to know what's potentially out there. We're in deep water here, fighting against the tide, and we haven't even been thrown as much as a pool floaty from those in charge. As I'm sure your friends in high places know, we've been contacted by an InGen whistleblower who let us know about species that were created but never officially acknowledged. And even they barely scratch the surface of what Congress could help with. We're not asking for money, we're asking for something far more valuable, information. These animals are out there now, and it seems they're here to stay, so if we're going to safely track, manage and relocate them, we need all the help we can get, urgently, blah blah blah. So this is from Biosyn. So I guess that's just their logo letterhead kind of thing. It's interesting that they're suggesting they're not involved in the black markets or anything like that. It seems that basically, to me, it sounds like they're a little bit behind the times again, like a little bit. And basically all these other companies are now getting hold of this tech from various sources and they're like, well, just declassify it so we can work with it basically, maybe under the pretense of, you know, keeping people safe and all this kind of jazz. But whether that's actually their goal is a whole other kettle of fish. That should be it for the documents. There's actually a few other things I want to show you. If you're on the main page here, zoom back out. So you're on your big old planet. If you hit F12 to open up the code, basically behind the website, boop. There you go. You get this. Can we? Yeah, there we go. You didn't say the magic word, which is pretty cool. The really fun little Easter egg there. Dennis Nedry and his white rabbit. Yeah, there's a few things I wanted to quickly mention that people brought up. So we're going to go to the... why is this search not finding Atrociraptor? What? Fine, I'll just do it this way, I guess. Weird. Oh, there's not been any sightings, that's why. I think we already knew this, personally. I think this has been obvious for about a year, but people seemed excited about it. I guess because it's confirmation of what we suspected. These predators are trained to kill by scent, and it's reported these animals have been genetically modified for speed. Well, even this is it. While unconfirmed, some DPW agents believe the Atrociraptors were actually genetically modified from Sauna velociraptors due to striking visual similarities. As Atrociraptors are designer dinosaurs, genetically designed for specific purposes, their coloration ranges dramatically per individual. So there's one ghost in particular who looks very much like the female JP3 velociraptor. But either way, it's interesting that they've mentioned that as well, because that was already, at the very least, a fan theory, if nothing else. There's a couple more similar to this, just cool little Easter eggs. The Compsognathus, I don't know how I didn't see this at the time, but of course, at the bottom of the compy images there, we have K4K, and then Kirby Enterprises. No longer just Kirby Patentile Plus, it's Kirby Enterprises. The man has moved up in the world. That's a really cool little Easter egg. I would die happy if Kirby was making a surprise appearance in this film. I don't think that's going to be the case, but it is a nice little it's a nice little reference all the same. God bless the Kirbys. Another thing that I did actually briefly talk about but didn't really get into, it's just that the Pteranodons are quite clearly there are amongst the images of the Pteranodons, and there's a lot of sightings of Pteranodons. The Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodon is clearly back. This one in particular with the long crest you can see, but it's also the coloration on the face. You can just about make out those lighter tones and those slightly reddish tones. It's very faint because of the darkness, but those are very definitely Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodons. So they survived the desolation of Sauna, which I feel is not officially undone or anything like that, but it wasn't really mentioned per se, and I feel like they're slightly retconning some of that away, which I think it's a good thing because at the end of the day, this is a fan thing and the fans hated it. So let's undo it. Let's fix it. Let's make it better. And this is a really good idea. You know, with the Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptors being saved by Kayla, with the Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodons being here. There's even a mention if we go to the Ankylosaurus. Actually, I've just remembered this. There's a couple here actually. So this dinosaur was so well protected, even its eyelids had armor. Bright colors and loud noises can be mistaken as threat displays for an Ankylosaurus. Some sport unique colorations such as blue tinged skin, so that's a reference to Bumpy, while others sport dark black armor with red markings on their faces, which is a reference to the Jurassic Park 3 Ankylosaurus. So that again suggests that the Ankylosaurus has made it out alive. Just a lot of cool stuff. There is one more thing I want to show you. This one's a little bit more hidden, a little bit weirder. We have to change some stuff up. I'll be back in a second. So, don't ask me why this is the case, but in the Brazilian version of this website in particular, specifically the Brazilian one and none of the others, there is a different video. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But for the Mosasaurus, the Mosasaurio, if you click it, you'll see this is actually a different video entirely than the one we watched yesterday. The one we watched was like a deep sea cam thing, and the Mosasaurus beep, bleep, slowly moved past, going bleep. But this one, as you see the Mosasaurus there, we see a turtle. Is it meant to be sound? Yeah. It's not sound. Yeah, you just see it swim past. Obviously, this is a diver. What we'll do is we'll translate the text as well. But there's a diver following this turtle, and then the Mosasaurus swings past in front of them. This massive creature just here. Whew. Very cool. Let's check out what this. I think actually no, it's the same text, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's the same text. The superstructure is the big thing they were doing. So I don't know why. I can't like fathom why this would be the case. That's a really weird little thing. What it makes me want to do is go and check all of them. You have to check every single, different location around the world. I just used a VPN to access this. Oh, there's a really cool thing. That. I knew I recognised it at the time, and then some people posted it out on Twitter, and Gaming Beaver posted it out on Twitter. That noise, I'll do it again. That is the noise that the hunters make in the Lost World Jurassic Park for the PS1. That is a deep cut, and I really appreciate it. I'm sure there's other references here that we haven't picked up on because there's so much to the website. It's been in development for about 3 years now. It's a 3-year labour of love. I think that's it for things I need to show you, for things that I'm aware of at this point in time. I think more may well be uncovered over time as we do certain things. I am tempted to try out different locations around the world, but first I think we need to figure out why Brazil would have a different video in the first place, because there's a lot of locations to try. But I could always like nip my VPN around and see if anything changes, but that would take a very, very long time. Just curious. I don't get it. Any suggestions, please feel free to let me know. I think that's very odd. Either way, so we had the Spinosaurus in the image text. We've got the Brazilian Mosasaurus video. We've got all those documents. We've got the hidden Dennis Nedry F12, and we've got the Atrociraptor, Compsognathus, JP3 Pteranodon, and the Ankylosaurus references. I think that's everything. Oh, there's something else. Again, I can't find it. I couldn't find it myself. Someone mentioned that one of the documents, not the documents, but on some version of it, the Ceratosaurus, the Carnotaurus actually talks about Ceratosaurus, and it's got information for the Ceratosaurus instead, or something like that. Suggesting there's a Ceratosaurus out there. Somewhere. Anyways, we'll end it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks very, very soon. If you enjoyed this video, please do throw me a like down below. Which was your favourite of these hidden little secrets? For me, I don't know actually. JP3 Pteranodon, Kirby's, always. Which was the best document though? Oh, they're all good. It's great stuff. It really is. I'm just really impressed. I think this is an awesome website. Probably won't be back on this now until either updates with new sightings, if that ever happens. Oh, and as people mentioned, blue means photo, red means video. But if updates with new information, or we find more new information, I'm going to do some searching myself. Then I will pop back on the website and we'll do another look. Until then, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks very soon. Cheers, much love, as always. Bye-bye.
Reaching out.